What's happening, baby? Still trying to think of better ways to start off the video. But man, I don't think I have a particular topic today. I'll probably end up talking about opinions again. Just because it's what's been on my mind, and I don't like forcing anything out, which I think I've been saying. I like doing these vlogs because I can just kind of document the process. As I keep saying, I feel like, I want to clean that up a little bit and make it a little more, I don't know, comprehensible, I guess. Is that even a word? I don't know. Today, I woke up, what time is it now? It's like 9:30? Yeah, 9:32. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Usually wake up around then if my sleep schedule's normal and all that. I woke up and I was like kind of watched stuff on my phone for a little bit. And I've noticed for a while I end up on my phone for like an hour in the morning, you know what I mean? Just like nothing too. You know what I mean? And I gotta break that, man. It's like, and the reason is, it's like I get on my phone because I immediately just like check to reply to any comments or anything. But then like lately, it's like I'm so tired. There's no reason to try to think that hard to like give a genuine reply. So I've been trying to not even tap on my notifications, but then I'm like still on the app, and I end up on all of them. And man, it's just so like, I was one of those people that held out as long as I could to get a smartphone, and everybody's like, dude, it'll change your life, which was so ironic to me when I was in college living in Florida. It's like 2007, right before the iPhone came out. My roommate was is a tech nerd, and he would get like a new phone every year, and he had just got a new phone, and his old phone was a Windows phone. It had like Windows XP mobile on it, and he's like, dude, you want this phone? And I was like, sure. And like, it could connect to Wi-Fi, and you could browse the internet. It had Internet Explorer on it. And I remember like going to school, I had that phone, and I remember going to class and be like, guys, look, like I can like get on MySpace with this, and like, I don't know, other websites and whatever we were using at the time. And I remember the one dude that I was kind of friends with, he was like, why would you want to do that? And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, I don't know. And I think I ended up getting rid of that phone for some reason. I got a free upgrade for mine. I don't know. I ended up with another flip phone, Gave that phone to another friend who his phone broke or whatever. And then like within the same year, because this was 2007, then the same year the iPhone came out, and all those people that were telling me like, that was kind of dumb to have a Windows phone, or it's dumb to have that Windows phone. They all had iPhones. I mean, they were spending thousands of dollars to like switch over to the iPhone. I mean, it was way better, but like, I don't know. I don't know if it was that experience or what, but I held out. And honestly, as far as, I was thinking about a lot of stuff this morning, so this is probably going to be a very, like, scatterbrained vlog for sure. But, I left my tripod in there. It's all right. I don't even know where it's at. I feel like been thinking about work a lot lately, having a job and an income or whatever. And, I thought about this morning too. Like, I think I don't get a lot of views on my vlogs, but this is the last time I'm going to say this. Like, I'm just kind of tired of explaining it. Like, I don't do any of this for money. I'm not worried about getting monetized on YouTube again or getting a certain amount of streams on Spotify so I can make money. I want to make enough so I can live. That's it. Like, I don't heat my house with wood because I love chopping firewood. I do it to save money. Quite frankly, every year I think I get more and more tired of it. Although, like, sitting here next to a fire, especially when it's cold outside, like, it's super nice. That's why I would like, kind of hate this, that the space that the wood burner's in. At our old place, it was right in our living room, you know, so we could all just like kind of snuggle up on the couch and we could feel the heat from the fire, and it's like snowing outside. Pretty cool. But yeah, we'll get this room set up some more. This was originally our game room, but now that I'm shooting down here, when I'm doing drums, it's just like, oh, it's so hot. But like, I'm just like, I'm working on a different music video. I'll explain that in a minute, but it's nice just feeling the heat, you know. Anyways, I do it to save money. I haven't had a gas bill since 2011. So, you know, that would be, we're going on 2025, so like 13 years, you know, because this would be the 13th winter or 14th, I don't know, doesn't matter. A long time, well over a decade. Point is, I don't need much to survive. We don't really travel. I mean, we like traveling, but we don't do anything crazy. Like, we did a week-long Michigan trip, and there's ways to get, like, you don't have to, like, if you're going to a particular place or city, you don't have to have the ocean view window. You don't have to have, what am I trying to do? You don't have to be right in the city or the town that you're staying at. There's a lot of different ways to get cheaper places, you know. You can camp at a campground. A lot of times they're incredibly cheap or free. And a lot of times they have, like, showers and bathrooms. Camping might not be your thing. Honestly, when I was a kid, I loved camping. Now at this age, especially with a kid, you know, it's like my daughter loves going to that Yogi Bear place. It's a place where, like, rich people, or at least people who try and come off like they're rich and have these giant campers that are more expensive than my house. They come and park there and just stay there for the weekend, I guess, or a week or whatever. And they have a pool and, like, activities for kids and stuff. And we're, like, always the only people there with a tent. Which we don't care, but it's just, there was a couple times, particularly last time, it's like I woke up, we were prepared, we had the tarps and stuff set up, but it was raining. It wasn't that bad when I woke up. But I was just like, I better get moving. The girls were still sleeping, and I'm like, I don't want to do any of this in the rain. And I'm glad I started packing up, because it was the morning we were leaving. The rain just kept getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. And the time before that, it was raining, and I was, you know, we don't have a camping stove or anything. We do everything over the fire, because I'm still one of those people like, well, that's camping. But now I'm just like, now I understand why people have campers. It'd be so nice to just wake up and it's raining and be like, oh, that sucks, and just turn on my little propane stove inside my comfy camper and make some sausage and coffee. But the first time we kind of got rained on, the day we were leaving, I was trying to start a fire, and it's raining, and I just wanted some coffee so bad, and it took like an hour and a half to get some coffee, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then the kid wakes up and she's crying because she's hungry, you know, and it's just like, dude, shut the hell up. You know, but anyways, you know, you don't have to do these expensive, crazy things. And there's ways, you know, I never used credit cards, but over the last decade or so, I kind of got into them only because my grandfather my entire life, he was always just like, stay away from credit cards. They're bad. They trick you, da 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 da. So I always just stayed away from them. And it kind of worked out because I probably would have been too stupid and spent too much. And as I got older, I realized, I was like, you know, they'll give you, I mean, we have cards that give us 5% back on like gas, or like we have one that gives us 3% back on groceries. So we have a few different cards that we just use for the grocery store or gas or restaurants or whatever. And those points build up. And we've used like the, you know, and you pay them off at the end of the month. You don't pay any interest, but you get paid. You get like a discount on life because they're paying you, right? But we have a written budget. So if you don't understand all this, I don't recommend it. I'm not a financial advisor or whatever. I'm just saying it as a disclaimer. But it's just one way that we do it. And we went on that vacation between our credit card points and the interest, because we have a lot of our savings in a high interest savings account. It paid for that vacation. You know what I mean? But we still also didn't do anything crazy. And to be honest, the things we paid the most for, like we went to Michigan, we went to Mackinac Island. We did a whole tour of like Michigan, but one of the biggest stops that we wanted to do, like the reason why we did it was we wanted to go to this place called Mackinac Island. It was an island, is an island in the middle of lake, not in the middle, but on Lake Michigan. You have to take a ferry there. There's no cars there. I think my wife and I saw an Instagram reel about it from one of those influencers that were just like, oh, look how blah, 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 blah. Right? We were totally sold on it. It was lame. I mean, it's like, I'm glad we got there. It was beautiful. But, you know, it's just like, it's like too big to walk, but there's no cars or anything there. We didn't bring our bikes. You could bring bikes if you want. But we were just like, we're going to lug our bikes around just for this one day. You know what I mean? You could rent them there, or you could pay for a horse and carriage taxi. But it's just like, we ended up walking. But by the end of the day, it's like our kid was bummed out, like just tired, right? But she passed right out once we got back to the hotel. We were tired, so we got that rest. Kids sleeping. You know what I mean? But it was like lame. I mean, it was beautiful. We went, you know, the spots we walked to, but it was just like, we'll probably never go back. You know what I mean? But the funnest stuff we had, like we went to, it was like when we just did spontaneous stuff. I mean, that's probably kind of a millennial thing. We don't keep an itinerary. But I'm going to throw this stuff out in the shop since I'm just talking. We had a very loose itinerary because we knew we were going to that island whatever day it was, you know, in the middle of the week. So we were just like, well, we got to make it here by this time or this day, whatever. But that was it. There was maybe another one. But one of the best days we had, I think it was the day after that, because we had seen some like roadside, like tourist trap type stuff. And it's just like there was this one, it was, I can't remember what it's called. I started to make a little video about it just because we had fun. And then I think it's still in my drafts or something, but it was like a place that just had, I can't remember the name, but it was like a place that had like evidence of like Bigfoot and aliens, and the Michigan has their own, you know, crypto creature or whatever, you know. We had so much fun that day. We went to that little museum. It was only about an hour, and then we just found some other stuff, you know. I ended up meeting the owner. I'm just talking to him, you know, and he wasn't like trying to convince us this was real or something. He was like, this stuff's just cool. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's awesome, man. You know, he was just a down-to-earth guy, and like, we had a great time. Found a great restaurant. we ended up, I was so mad though, because one of my bucket list things was I want to go to all the Great Lakes. Like, by definition to me was like touching the water, right? So I had never been to, let me think about this. We hit, I'd only been to Lake Erie, I think. So on that trip, I need a map now. On that trip, I was able to hit Lake Michigan, of course, and Lake Huron. Well, Lake Superior is like on the upper peninsula of Michigan. And Mackinac City, which is on the mainland of Mackinac Island, it's spelled like Mackinac, but the locals there were just like, no, you can't say it that way. It's Mackinac. Okay. Just in case you're wondering, I want to look it up. But on that same day, actually, there's this crazy bridge that goes from the lower peninsula to the upper peninsula of Michigan. And we saw the bridge from the ferry. And I was like, man, that bridge is awesome. So after we did that little museum, because that, we were on the ferry to go to the island. That was the day before. So after we did that museum, it was right by all the stuff, the ferry and, whatever. So I was like, hey, we should drive across that bridge. It was cool. Like, we can get some cool pictures and stuff. And, like, it was just a cool bridge. And, like, we'll just see what's over there on the upper peninsula and we'll just drive back. You know what I mean? Well, we get across and there's a toll. It was only like $2. We were just going to turn around and come back, but it was $2. I was like, while we're here, let's go. We kind of like, we paid the toll, pulled over, and we just like looked around. There was like a little beach and a park, and we ended up finding a restaurant that we liked there, and Lily got to play in the sand all day, and like we just hung out. There was a park there. She made a friend. Like, we had a great day that day. But we were right by, if we would have drove, I don't even know, 20 minutes north or something, we could have went to Lake Superior, and I wasn't even thinking about it, and I was super bummed, so I'm gonna have to go back now. But anyways, yeah, there's ways to do things cheap and have a great time, and I just don't need that much to live, you know what I mean? I would still heat my house with wood. When I say cheap, I mean a lot of people I see on the internet, especially, I see a lot of like clickbait videos that sometimes I just have to watch, that are just people like, yeah, everything's too expensive, can't afford anything. But then they're just like, well, I wanted this 2-bedroom apartment so my cat could have the spare room because she has anxiety. And it's just like, bro. Or they're like, this one I saw this morning, this girl is just like, and it's people over all generations too. It's crazy. She was just like justifying why she doesn't pay anything on her credit cards. And it just was not making sense. And I'm like, I feel in my brain, these are the people that are saying like $100,000 a year is not enough to live. Because I'm like, bro, I would live like a king. You know what I mean? And honestly, like the last job I had, it was the highest paying job I ever had working for someone else. I made great money when I was cutting grass. We never changed our lifestyle. I lived like a freaking king. And dude, I don't know. It's just wild. But we could be comfortable if we, like, Kimmy and I combined have like 30,000. You know what I mean? I know that's probably not for everybody, but if I'm able to just make stuff and we can do random things, as I've been told, it's more expensive. Maybe 35,000. We'll say that. I've told kids get more and more expensive as they get older. They're doing more after school stuff and whatnot. I get it. So, but that's all I need. That's all I need from this, And I don't even know if this is the answer. I feel like the only way to get my music out there is the internet. I feel like there is some, like my buddy was telling me, he's the one that pushed me to try and get on the radio, and I should be pushing to do it more. I'm in a huge learning process right now. There's so much to learn, you know, because I mean, if you pay attention to any underground band or any band that even was big but they're unsigned now, because they're staying independent. Well, a lot of those bands can afford, and you know, because they had that such a big push early on when they were kids from the labels. That label money doesn't take much, you know. It doesn't take much effort for them to just post something and maximize money. But starting from the ground up, I think that's where it gets difficult. And I'm trying. Let's just stay on subject. I think the internet is the answer. I mean, I know I'm a creative. Like, people have asked me, like, what's your goal? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, I like to just make shit. That's what I always say. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I think it's obvious. I like making songs. I like making music videos. Like, I got this little thing I'm trying here now on the, I said I'd talk about that, and I will. I like doing stuff like that, but I know this is going to take me a few days. I worked on it pretty much all day yesterday. I had a little hiccup with my external hard drive pretty much crashing and whatever. I've been shooting video as I'm making this music video too, so you'll be able to check that out once it's all together. I have to, actually do it first, but anyways, I don't know if using the internet is the answer, but I think it is. And, I like making stuff, music and videos and stuff like that, but I also like, my basement's not finished. Like, I still got to do trim, like, around the doors and stuff, as you can see, but, like, we're painting the ceiling. It probably doesn't do it much justice. It's pretty nasty down here right now. But, like, I redid all this wiring. We painted the ceiling black. See if I can get a good angle here. Not really. There's so many things that are unfinished down here. I built these shelves. Like, I think these shelves look great. Put in this bulkhead with the black ceiling. Put all these nice fancy lights in. Did this. I usually have one of Kimmy's paintings hanging here, and I put a light above there so it shines down on it. But I got to do the trim around these doors or whatever. Like, I like doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? I like making stuff, and I feel like I don't know how else to, like, get myself out there other than the internet. My daughter was into monkey bars last year, so I'm into climbing. This here, I made her when we moved in because there was this giant desk in my studio. So I took it all apart and made my desk that's in there now, and there was so much wood left over. So I made her this little like thing there's like little stairs here. She'll like sit up on there and play Nintendo, or she made like a little fort down there to play Nintendo. And she has like little lights down there. But then I added on these monkey bars last Christmas, actually, so almost a year ago, because she was into that. Like, I loved building that. That was cool. And we added this rock climbing wall here. And Kimmy painted it. But I did all this down here. I mean, it's a mess right now because kids, It's nothing crazy, but like, I like building stuff. It's not done. I still got to paint the ceiling and still doing wiring. All the dads are like, yeah, I know how that gets. There's my Pittsburgh accent. When I'm joking around, I bust out the Pittsburgh accent. So, yeah, I mean, I just like making stuff. Like, I built my shop out there. I still got to finish that. I loved building that thing, man. It was great. It's also incredibly frustrating to me because, like, I like building stuff, so people were just like when I was in my rut, and I'm like, I don't know, I can't use music to, like, pay my bills or whatever, and I have a job, I can't really do anything afterwards because I'm so exhausted, because that's the thing too, like, when I make music, I don't want to just like write a song and just put it out there, like post it on Facebook or something. I want to get the album artwork. I want to get the video. I want to do, like, the whole production. Like, I want to, like, do it 110%, the best of my ability. You know what I mean? That's what's fun to me. So I just couldn't do that after work, getting homework done or whatever. But anyways, when I was in that rut, a few people told me, they're just like, dude, you're good at, you're rewiring your house, you're building stuff. Like, why don't you go get a job at a construction company? It's like, dude, the best offer I got was $14 an hour. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm 38 now, so I was probably like 36 at the time. Like, oh, you don't have any experience. Like, dog, I did construction. It was like my first job in high school, working with my older brother. And then after college, I was doing roofs. And I was doing roofs before college, before I moved to Florida. You know what I mean? But like, I built this whole, it's a 15 by 30 building. I built these barn doors. I made a little video about it. It's one of my most viewed shorts on YouTube about these little barn doors I made. I only built them because I couldn't afford a garage door. You know? And it's like the compliments that I've gotten on that stuff. And it's just like, wait, you guys think I'm not capable? Like, that's the struggle I've been going through. But what's funny too, man, is like, I've been meeting people just by posting my little shorts and stuff, like other musicians and stuff like that. One guy, BJ, he has a friend, or he has a channel called Son of a Fink. He just like works on cars and stuff like that, and he does airbrushing. He's pretty good with airbrushing motorcycles and stuff like that. He has this idea to build a like portable recording studio, like in a van, and he wants to make a bigger one on a bus and do like tours with it or whatever, go in the car shows. He's like, dude, I don't know anything about audio stuff. Like, could you help me with that? Like, because I know, like, I've seen your videos, like, building the go-kart and stuff. Like, do you know anything about engines? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay. Like, he's been getting lists together and, like, working on, you know, he's good with marketing and stuff, too. So he's like, yeah, I'm getting some sponsors lined up. Like, hopefully this spring we can start on it. You know what I mean? Like, you can help me. Like, I have an engine. Like, we can rebuild it and stuff. I'm like, because he saw a couple of my videos on YouTube. He, like, knows that I'm capable. But, like, if I go to, like, a local place to try and get a job, and they're like, I applied once to a place. They offered me $13 an hour. That's why, and I ended up going to the hardware store because I applied, dude, oh, my God. I applied to, like, 30 places. 2 places replied. This one place, I was really wanting to do it because it was, like, not engineering stuff, but it was, like, they need like a machinist or something. I can't even remember. But on my, it's probably stupid, that's why. But I put on my resume like the custom things I had been building for this go-kart. How I'm engine swapping it, the suspension. Like I had like pictures and stuff in my resume. And I got to the interview and they're like, yeah, you're not going to qualify for that job. So we're going to interview you for this entry level job. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And the dude that got me in, I was playing in a band with at the time, and I guess he had told me, he was like, yeah, he was saying like that ain't shit, basically, and I'm like, but he was the same dude too that was saying like, oh, your band needs to do this, your band needs to do that, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like the dude I was in the band with, it was like he worked with this dude. They were like sideline, co-workers or whatever. They were both like managers for different departments or something. But he would, like, my friend in the band, he was like, oh yeah, so-and-so said this, like, we should probably do that. And I'm like, no, we shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking to, it's like, I don't like saying, talking this way or anything like that. Because it's just like, it comes off like you have a big ego or something. But I'm just like, dog. Like, I finally told him, like, dude, I'm not trying to be a douche or anything, but like, look at what you're saying. Like, I'm in your band. I started playing with you guys, been starting, like, doing this type of stuff for the band. And, like, we're getting these better show offers and we're getting better paying show offers. Okay? Like, I've recorded bands from all over the world. I've made content before. I've toured before. I've played, probably the most shows out of everybody in the band. I'm not like trying to make you feel bad or anything, but like, I want to help. I want to help contribute. You know what I mean? And you're trying to convince us to take advice from a guy that has never even played a show. But these were like the dudes that were like, managers of departments in these companies, and they're telling me I'm not capable, and I'm just like, what do you guys? It makes me wonder, because I'm like, what are like, I have friends that are managers and stuff like that too, that are high up and stuff, and they're like, yeah, man, having so much trouble keeping employees around. I kind of want to know more specifically, because like, I think maybe I never paid attention to it because I'm just not one of those people, you know. And then when I would like, I'm like, like the last job I had, like I took a job, it was really high paying just starting out, I was like, well, I'll just, work my way up. I got my foot in the door here. I know a little bit about whatever, and I have manager experience. Like, I'll just work my way up, And it's just like, I've had people from that company and other companies too just tell me flat out, like, "Oh, you can never be a manager. You can never fucking whatever." I'm like, you're an idiot. There's those opinions again that I keep talking about that don't matter. I don't know. It's just sometimes I feel like there's a lot of the wrong people running companies and stuff like that. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm also the type of person like, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm gonna make money doing this, even though I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I am too free spirited or something. I don't know. But I mean, I've made it work before, I don't know. I think I covered everything I want to talk about, because now I'm ready to go do the video. I'll go talk about the video. So I'm gonna a minute of backstory here. I'll try and keep it within a minute. I'm 31 minutes and 52 seconds right now. So when I put out my EP, I was asking everybody, what's your favorite song? What's your favorite song? It was almost a unanimous vote. I think a couple people said Jingle Bell Rock, but almost everyone said my original, right? So as I've been shooting videos, I did everything for the Christmas EP with this green screen, because I wanted to get good at doing green screen stuff. And I wanted to get good at it because the video or the song that everybody vibed with the most, I wanted to put the most work into that video so I could help try and like push it out there more, right? And hopefully get more attention. And I think that worked, you know what I mean? But I was on my Spotify the other day because I want to set some goals for 2025. I'm going to talk about soon in another video. But my most listened to and saved song off my Christmas EP is Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. I kept it under a minute. Check that out. I wanted to put a video out for every song like I always do. Christmas is less than a week away. I'm going to only have time, I think, to put out one. And I was trying to decide which one I should do. I wanted to do Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer anyways, but the other one is Jingle Bells. That one, it just kind of there. It made sense because it's just like, there's no copyright on the song anymore because it's so old. So I didn't have to pay for a licensing fee. My daughter requested it. So, when your daughter requests it, you got to do it. It's an easy song, whatever. It was just, it kind of made sense. You know what I mean? It's not like dumb or anything. I don't know. So I was like, well, it's that or Jingle Bells or Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. I was like, well, Jingle Bells is my least streamed song off the EP is the original version of this year. Which I thought that would be a cool idea. And after I did that, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, this is really dumb. I thought it'd be cool to just like compare, but I'm like, that's just me. I don't think anybody else cares about that. But other than that one, Jingle Bells is the least streamed, and Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer is the most streamed. So I was like, well, I'll make a video for that. So here's my concept. I shot me playing the song in front of the green screen. So I made this little stage. It's not going to have these lollipop looking things on there. I'll show you what those are in a second. But I made this little stage, and I'm going to shrink myself down to be playing on this stage. It's obviously going to be very crude and like not, it's intentionally like a kid made it, because this is about the as good as my crafting skills go. But I was kind of going for like a Sum 41 type of vibe, like they did a few music videos. There's one with like a robot just like walking around town and like, stuff like that. Just intentionally kind of crude and not good, right? So I'm gonna shrink myself down, be playing on the stage, and then I have a bunch of little reindeer on these like lollipop sticks. They're gonna just be like rocking out and like moshing and stuff as I'm playing Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer. And then I got a bunch of these angry grandmas with guns. And I've learned how to use the effect to make it look like there's a gun shooting. This is probably going to get flagged on the internet. And they're just going to start like, they're going to be mad because their grandma friend got ran over by a reindeer. So, you got to get my drift where it's going. It's going to take a lot of work. I haven't done it before. I haven't really finished the storyline, so I got to set up all the shots. It's going to be a lot of editing, but I'm hoping to get it out by Saturday. We'll see what happens, and it's Thursday. So that's how I roll. Yeah, other than that, I think I got everything off my chest that I need to. Guys, appreciate the support again. I'm still getting consistent 20 views on these vlogs no matter what I talk about. To be honest, what I've noticed, when I talk about specific subjects, I'll do something more in depth on this, but I'll do a little bit of research. I think I did talk about this before, actually. I'll pick specific keywords, search terms, or whatever you want to call it, on YouTube. That's how I got on, like, what was it? Like, how to market your music, or how much you should upload to YouTube. It's like things I knew I was already going through. So it was, like, relatable, so I didn't have to, like, fake it. That I could talk about, you know, but also people were searching and no one was making videos on. So now this probably has something to do with me doing this very raw, because I think when people search stuff like that, they're not looking for a vlog style unedited. They're looking for something that is like scripted and stuff. Those videos get more views, but my retention is god awful. And I don't even, so which makes me not even rank for those videos. So there's a few metrics when you're making a video, right? There's click rate, which is like, has to do with your title and thumbnail. So when someone searches something, your video pops up in that. If your thumbnail and title are poop, people are not going to click on it. So you'll have a low click-through rate. Mine is on those. All my click-through rates are honestly pretty good, at least average, if not above average or great. So my click-through rate's good, which means I'm picking good titles, I'm picking good subjects, I'm making good enough thumbnails. But then you have another thing, you know, obviously you have views. So YouTube counts a view as 30 seconds or more. So people are watching it for 30 seconds because my view count has been higher, or at least most people. But then I've been getting more dislikes and my retention's been low. Now, the retention is how long people are staying on the video. So they're staying like 30 seconds and getting a view. So I'm holding them in for that 30 seconds. But then they give you a graph that's just like from beginning to end. And typically what it is like, it starts out like, you know, you're at 100% and then it'll just kind of slowly go down if you have like good retention. Worst retention you can have is what they call hockey stick retention, where it's just like starts out, but in the first few seconds, it just drops way down and then slowly drags out. That's the kind of retention I've been getting. So everyone that has told me, like, you know, you got to try and bring people in through your vlogs and stuff. I agree, but you know what, man? I've connected with everybody that actually digs me, which is what I want, really, in the end, and digs my music through these vlogs. And if I'm still consistently getting 20 to 30, 40 views, that tells me that I have at least 20 people out there that are, like, incredibly invested in me, like, or more deeply invested in me. And I think that'll build as I keep, like, making little shorts and stuff out there, promoting my music, making jokes or whatever, because, you know, I posted, I know some of you guys don't have socials, but I posted my Spotify Wrapped, which is, if you use Spotify, like if you're a listener, at the end of the year, Spotify Wrapped will tell you, like, these are the top 5 bands you listen to. This is how many hours of music you listened to on Spotify this year, and those kind of stats, right? Like GTA stats almost. um, well, they also do that for the artists as well. So it was just like, hey, I was listened to in, I don't, it was just like 26 different countries, and people listen to you for, you know, 100,000 hours or something. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers, but the biggest thing was I had, I can't remember what's counted as a play on Spotify for you to get paid. I think it's like a minute or something. But last year I had like 34,000 streams, and this year I had like 66. So I almost doubled. And most of the year, the first 75% of the year, I didn't even do anything. You know what I mean? And when I looked it up, the last quarter, the last 3 months, because I quit my job at the beginning of September, and that's when I really started going hard, it was 14,000. And that was really only a little more than 25%, which would make sense. You know, I hope I explained that well. So, anyways, what I'm saying is the vlogs, yeah, I might only get 20, 25 views consistently, but my Spotify's been growing, and that's just one thing. I mean, I still, you know, Apple Music is my second biggest app used to listen to me. You know, it was like the same thing. YouTube did a stats thing, like a rap thing. I can't remember what they call it. And, you know, this year, so in the last 3 months, I've gotten 71 subscribers. And then for the year, I was up 180 subscribers. And I was, you know, it's like it's like everything's just been going up. So it's like, I think because like, honestly, like vlogs like this, like I don't really watch. I enjoy making them. And I know, you know, you guys are watching because you like watching them, I hope. I mean, please don't just let my stuff play because you're not into it. You know, I don't want that. I don't want you to have to like go to work for me for free or something. That's crazy. You know, just in the last 28 days on Spotify, I've had almost 4,600 streams and just over 1,600 listeners. So, and that keeps going up. So that tells me that there's people that are just like, they're deeply invested into me, and that's why they watch the long form vlogs. And then there's people that like my music, and there's people like seeing things about the shop when I posted about that. I don't know. So I think I'm starting to figure it out. It's starting to click in my head. Of course, I'm going to share that with you guys. I don't really remember the point of me telling all this. I think I was just yapping. So, sorry, I can't sum it up if there was a point. But, you know, I got to start working on this music video. This is going on 45 minutes here soon. So, guys, thanks for the support. Really appreciate it, of course. I know I say that every single day, but this is why I'm telling you this, because everything's growing. You know what I mean? And if you guys like talking or just listening to me vlog and just, you know, vent or whatever, that's cool. I had mixed reviews, like I said, about the YouTube videos talking about particular subjects or just vlogging. That's why I was talking about all that, because of the retention. I think I'm just going to keep doing that, but I'm going to keep trying new stuff too. So, you know, I appreciate the comments. I know, like, you guys will just kind of like, oh, this is good or whatever, just to like help. And I appreciate that. You know, if you don't think it's good, don't comment that it's good, please. Because I actually take your guys' feedback into account when I'm doing stuff. You know what I mean? That's why I ask you guys for your opinion. I know I keep saying opinions don't matter, but your opinions matter to me. So just let me know. I'm going to try new stuff. I have some ideas. I'm going to make a little video, I think, about my goals for 2025. I talked a little bit at the end of my video yesterday. Maybe check that out. I don't know when it starts. I should probably start time stamping my stuff, but you know what? If I keep trying to sum up everything, I'm just going to keep talking. So you know what? I'll just see you guys tomorrow.